Okay, folks, I hope you have had plenty of time to work through the content on our checklist. So again, you're on our Play-Doh page, you've gone to content, and you've accessed the week one checklist. So you've gone here and you've worked through each of these items in this week's checklist. Once you get here to our activity log, you are going to take the time that you have spent this week doing activities for lab, and you are going to fill out an activity log. So you'll click on that link and it will bring you to the activity log and allow you to actually submit an activity log. It's not going to let me do it because I am not actually a student, even though I'm in the student view. The activity log, I've got a template here that you can use. It's just a sheet where you calculate your hours. I want to just be really clear that this activity log should reflect everything that you've done up until you've gotten to this point where you're going through the checklist and you've done the activity log. After that, you're going to keep track of hours for next week. Okay, and we're going to, at the end of lab, submit an activity log for the hours that you've put towards that week. So for next week, you have a couple of small things to accomplish after you submit your activity log. So each lab session, we will put up the exit time slide and we'll take the last 10 minutes of lab to fill out the activity log. It doesn't have to be super in depth, but you do have to take, like, I spent um, kind of 20 minutes watching the introduction to lab video. I spent this much time deciding what to cast my vote on for habitat, so on and so forth. And you're going to submit that. And we're going to do that every week. It should only include activities specific to lab. So anything, like if you spent time studying for lecture, that does not go in your activity log. Only things that have to do with lab. To be prepared for next week, you have a couple of things that you need to do. And so this will go towards next week's activity logs. You'll fill out the working time survey, you'll comment on the grading contract, you'll complete the first self-assessment. And after I post on Saturday morning the habitat comparison that we're doing, you will collect samples for our mini experiment, so our mini research project. And so there is a protocol on Play-Doh that you can access, and it will walk you through how to find hemlock samples for that. And finally, you're going to keep track of any further activity you do outside of lab that is specific to lab. So, for example, going out and collecting samples for a mini experiment to include in your activity log for next week. So I hope you all have a wonderful snow day again, and I will see you next Tuesday.